This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app makes it easy to keep up to date with transfer news, scores and stats all in the one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description. The app is free. To watch more of this video, get over and join us on Patreon.
There was a meeting this week in Madrid to a lot of teams trying to stave off a European Super League, which has been headed up by Juventus chairman.
Which it will be.
Because obviously there's a few of them clubs, revenue-wise, want what the Premier League are getting and can't get it because their leagues aren't as competitive as what the Premier League is and haven't been branded as well as what the Premier League has.
They don't have the infrastructure.
And they haven't got the infrastructure as well. And so they're looking and going, well, we want our own piece of the pie then, and we can only get that by having...
Did they say, we want our whole piece of the pie?
Piece of the pie. Obviously, because there's teams like Juventus who've won their league by 20 points, and there's PSG that have won their league by... And for me, the most interesting one is PSG, because France, when I think of France, there's nothing there. There's Paris Saint-Germain, and then everyone else is much of a muchness without... There's no... What I mean is people aren't itching to get to France and play in France.
There's not... It's weird, France, isn't it? It's a weird fact that a country as big as France and how much it loves football and how, you know, it's won a couple of World Cups and stuff, and the players we remember and all the rest, just doesn't have big teams. Like Paris Saint-Germain till they were bought. I mean, Paris Saint-Germain wasn't even made till like 72. It was like when two teams took them together. Marseille, yeah, they're a big club. You've got teams from the 70s like Saint Etienne who were big clubs, but Monaco aren't a big club.
No, 5,000 people. They had a lot of money for a couple of years.
Lyon are a biggish club. They're a big club, but they don't have big clubs.
There's no pull there when you look.
I don't know what it is. Maybe I just don't know whether it's because the country. See, the oddest thing about Paris, there's only one club. So you go to like
10 million people.
You go, it's the biggest catchment area for any one club in the world.
And one.
You go to, you know, okay, maybe somewhere similar would be somewhere like Barcelona, but Barcelona isn't a big place. It's not a Spaniard
in Barcelona.
But I know, but they're only. What I'm saying, Barcelona's isn't actually a big place. It's probably a little bit like Liverpool. That's actually probably got a bigger reputation because it's got a football team. It's one of those places. But you think of all the other capital cities. Madrid's got two, and it's got
things
two or three
dotted around.
Toffee and places like that dotted around. There's, you know, you'll think of other places, and they've got two or three, biggish teams. London obviously has got like 13 teams. In it, so that's a bit of a.
Munich's got two, hasn't it? Yeah, Bayern in 1860, hasn't it? But I don't know. It's just with France. It just seems. There's no appeal for players to go there, I don't think. I mean, you know, and the league has played out like that because you've basically got a country behind PSG, but there's no competition. How do you get...
I suppose before Paris Saint-Germain got the money, there was competition because everyone was, even though they were maybe on that level, it was still equal, but then you wouldn't go there. There was nothing to entice you to go there. So, I think in terms of Paris Saint-Germain, in terms of the city, in terms of Paris being one of the iconic cities of the world, it does deserve to have a team that is a big team.
It does, but if you're 20 points ahead in your league.
But in terms of, if I was looking in as not like a football fan, I would look at Paris as a city and go, they deserve to be a big club
in the European
They
Super
deserve
League.
To be an elite. And then if you were looking from the outside, you go, you know what? They actually would make sense for it. It would make sense for teams like that to be in an elite competition.
Right. So let's say that it happened, right? Because there's enough people pulling in the direction of wanting it. What would that mean for the rest of us then?
I think what it would mean for Everton is that if it happened tomorrow...
Well, there wouldn't be 6 English teams going in for a start.
No, but if it happened tomorrow, I honestly believe we'd have no new stadium. Because I think the people who are giving us the money.
How did he keep the money? Yeah.
People are giving us the money, you'd go, well, all that money that you've got in the Premier League would go over there, because it just would. It would just go over there, because you wouldn't have the Champions League like it is, and the Premier League would be drained of all these assets, and they'd go, well, we're just taking the money. And if Everton Everton then would have to find another way to guarantee that money, and they wouldn't be able to. Simple as that. So the people who are giving us the money would just go, you can't have it. You can't guarantee. So that would be the big problem for me. In terms of football, I wouldn't be asked. I just wouldn't be asked, because I watch the Champions League and it's great, but I'm not like, oh, I'm not asked about the Champions League.
Yeah, I'm not really.
I probably should be as a football fan, be going, I wish Everton were in there, and I'm not. I simply not. I don't watch it, and I'm jealous. I honestly don't.
I'd rather if listen.
And maybe that's because we're not in the...
If I was Liverpool, I'd rather win the Premier League than win the European Cup final. They could win both.
But they'd that. But
I think for them,
But if a Super League started, they'd want to be in the Super League.
Oh, well, no.
Because that's
But
the
I
elite.
think they get bored. I think as a fan, I don't think Liverpool football
I don't
club
think
would.
The football club would.
But I think
they're not asked what the fans.
Because what's the point of it?
They're not asked what the fans. It's a global game.
Could we survive with the Super League?
You'd have to cut your cloth, wouldn't you? I don't think we'd all survive. I think.
Do you not think there'd be any? So there'd be no. Do you not think there'd be any interest in the Premier League, monetary wise?
No.
You know,
not big. Not big.
Not
if
big,
you're the Champions League's great, but the Champions League's not on every single week. If they created the European Super League that was on every single week, every single Saturday or Sunday, well, it'd be a Sunday, wouldn't it? Then I'm afraid your money's going, isn't it? And then what happens then? BT come in and BT will go, yeah, for this year's TV rights, we'll give you.
But then that may be the way to get around that. Then is like the Netflix model that we talked about.
No,
as fans, you'd still pay.
I agree.
To watch your team,
I do agree, and don't forget if BT or Sky are paying 2 billion, 3 billion, whatever it is. That's an English market or a British market, so there's still going to be interest. But the problem is then if you get drained of all your top players and all,
but all the top players can't go and play in it, can they?
They can. They simply can. Because if you've got they can't, Baz. Because if you've got 20 teams, no matter if one of those, if you let's just say there's 20 teams, right, and one of them is Galatasaray will suddenly become full of absolutely brilliant players, because it will just be like a franchise. It will be like if there's the way I look at it is, let's say it's like the NFL, right? So you've got so many teams in the NFL. You've got 20 odd teams. A player's not going to go, for me, a top players as we move forward is not going to go, no, I'd rather play for my team. They're all going to go, it doesn't matter what team I play for. I want to play in the brand, and the brand will be the Super League, and it won't matter whether it's Galatasaray, whether it's Liverpool, whether it's Ajax, whether it's PSG. You look at another way to look at it is look at the Indian cricket league,
the IPL,
where they have at the beginning they have bids for players, so they already have the players, and where you end up is where you end up. I'm not saying it's going to be
like that.
I'm not saying which
MLS with the draft.
Yeah, well, look at NFL with the draft. The players are all there ready to play. They're not asked. They don't know where they're going. No. But they just want to play in the NFL. It doesn't matter who they play for. They just want to play in the NFL. And I think that's what it would become like. It would become this Super League. We're like, we don't care. It's like you hear them now and they go, I want to play in the Champions League. I want to play for a Champions League team. So already their idea is, I don't want to play. I'm not asked whether it's that team, or that team. I want to play for the Champions League.
They want all the trappings that go with it, don't they?
Exactly. So if you've suddenly got this closed shop where there is no other football.
But just from an English point of view, then, just very quickly, we move on. We've already got people trying to make it a closed shop in our league, haven't we? You know what I mean? Turkey's voting for Christmas are basically what the Premier League teams did when they voted to give the top six more money, which is just the most nonsense.
Because they all think that they will break into the top six. They won't though, because...
So, I don't know.